Hi folks, welcome back to another video on the channel. All things Sorare Contender Divisions with me, Mark. A very exciting video this week. As you can see on the screen, I had my best ever result on Sorare today, which is Wednesday. Contender was open, there wasn't many games, but the J League was in full flow. And from 11 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. today, I was engrossed and I was watching games, I was watching leaderboards, and it looks like we have a second place finish in season rare Division 1. Not quite enough for first place, but certainly not going to complain. $500, so probably about £400, which is a big lift for the gallery, and already can't wait to get my hands on it and probably just go and buy more J-League and K-League players, to be honest. So we'll touch on this quickly. We'll do a preview for the Contender coming up this weekend. We'll look at the fixtures, win percentages and all that kind of stuff. And we will build some lineups for the weekend as well. So just on this lineup, as you can see, very much a Machida stack with Lucas Fernandez thrown in as a differential. He was the classic card. So Lucas Fernandez got the assist, got a score of 89. I think, what's that, 2 goal line clearances from my 2 centre backs, one of which was captain's for a 100 pointer, which resulted in 167. What a legends. Okamura and Shoji, his teammate. And then Yuki Soma was the forward. You remember from the previous video, I was close to putting Anderson Lopez into this team, and I decided to stick with Machida. Kosutani got the clean sheet. They got the 1-0 victory away from home against Gamba, and here we are. Second place, mega prize, and can't wait to buy new players with it over the weekend. The team that came first basically came down to same team, I think, basically, but Lucas Fernandez was not in the other team, and the manager who finished first had a much better collection score. So another example of why collection score is so important. So as you can see there, Wakizaka scored 85 for a mint 89, whereas Lucas Fernandez got me 79 points. But you'll also notice his captain Okamura, same captain as me, 171 points, whereas I got 167. I think I've only got 2%, maybe 3% on my Machida guys, whereas this manager has maxed out on full collection, 5%, and is going to win $250 more than I am. So just goes to show you again the importance of collection scores and filling the gallery with some of those collection pieces. Funny enough, I actually bought a classic Wakizaka about 24 hours ago, before this game week even started, before I knew he was going to be a big rival for me in this current game week. So at least I've got a Wakizaka in the gallery now, albeit a classic card. So Machida are my new favourite team. Lucas Fernandez has long been one of my favourites, so good to see him back with a decisive, and like I said, a fantastic day on Sorare this morning. So let's jump to a bit of a preview for Gameweek 68. On the screen is the Sorare probabilities spreadsheet, which I always use, and I have to give them a shout out. Definitely helped me with my lineup building for that second place finish. It was, I remember, for example, Okamura had a really good projection, and that was one of the reasons I captained him. I think he had a projected score of about 70 last game week. So shout out to Sorare Probabilities for helping us get that good finish. So fixtures coming up. Game week 68 in Contender. This is sorted by win percentage for home teams. We'll have a quick look at the away teams afterwards. So number 1 is Toluca. I've got Paulinho, so I'm looking forward to using him. I've got a classic Paulinho, and he'll probably go into one of my in-season lineups. Bodo Glimt in Norway, 82% win percentage against HamKam. I have Jens Peter Høyge. I have Hakon Evjen, so 2 more good cards to use there. Elsewhere, a couple of teams there that I don't have anybody from. Elche have a good fixture. If you have Affengruber, who's a very good scorer, good matchup this weekend. Lorient in France have a 70% win percentage. Rangers 69% against at home to Hibs. Boca Juniors looks favourable. Elversberg in Germany. Paris FC, I've got a few of those guys as well. Cruz Azul towards the bottom of the list there also. So just a very quick look at this. We'll look at the away teams, and then we'll have a very quick look at clean sheets as well before we start building some lineups. So which away teams have the best matchups? It is Celtic, of course, away to St Johnstone. 86% win percentage away from home is absolutely insane. They only give St Johnstone a 6% chance of winning. So of course, Celtic, as always, very strong coming up this weekend. Schmeichel's still injured. I think he's out for about 6 weeks. So it will be Sinisalo in goal again. We'll have a quick look at McBride's predicted Celtic lineup before we wrap up this video. Elsewhere, Zagreb 60% to win away from home against Istra. River Plate looking good. Tigres looking good as well. Palmeiras, Mets are here as well, so good for Gotti or Hein, despite it being an away fixture. And then you're getting towards 50%. The likes of Moldes, Split, and Paderborn. Let's build some lineups. Let's build an in-season Division 1. I've got Sorare data open for the lineup builder. But more importantly, Sorare probabilities is also open in the background here as well. So going to build an in-season lineup. Let's jump over here. Jump to my players. And I'm going to sort it first of all to in-season only. And we'll maybe pick the classic player last. Although it probably makes more sense to pick them first. But we'll do it this way. I like filtering this just to see the in-season guys only. So first off, goalkeepers. Top of the list this week is Zach Hemming. Played for St Mirren. But I don't really love that, to be honest. Projected score of 80. But he's not traditionally a very good Sorare scorer. I was having a look before I started recording. Here he is. There's an example. You know, last 4 scores are 11, 8, 24 and 30. He's only got 1 score above 65 in this is probably the last 6 months. So despite a good matchup this weekend, I find it very hard to put Zach Hemming into a Division 1 lineup. Now he might make it into my Division 2 in season because I don't have a fantastic selection of goalkeepers this game week. But I think I'm going to swerve Hemming on this occasion. It'll be interesting to see how close he actually gets to that projected score of 80. I'm pretty sure on Sorare data he's well down the list. I think he's a B rating here. Yeah, he's well down the list there. So not overly keen on that. So who's next best? Unseen is showing up here at 66 for Necaxa, but again, clean sheet percentage is only 21%. Guzman might be the one I go for. We did see there that Tigres have a good matchup. I've got 10% bonus on Guzman because I've got a bit of a collection going there. And his clean sheet percentage is at 42%, which is much better than the other two. Elsewhere, Dominic Ryman, I've got a good collection bonus on him, and Zieler, 58 and 56 respectively in terms of projected scores. Kositani, the hero, maybe I just stick with Machida and thank them for the midweek and give them another run out in Division 1 for the weekend. As far as I'm aware, you'll see here on these projected scores that there's different shades of green. Now, I'm colourblind, so this is a major challenge for me. But from what I can see there, the darker coloured greens like Hemming, Unseen and Guzman, I think that's a more accurate projected score. Whereas people like Ota there and Kositani, it's a lighter colour. So maybe the information is not fully in yet for those guys, probably because they played midweek. And as we get closer to deadline on Friday, some of these numbers might change, of course. You know, Kositani, for example, might jump up a bit. Because you can see there's no clean sheet percentage, for example. So this is always a work in progress, and it gets more and more accurate. I say accurate, but there's more information here by the time we get to Friday. So Kositani might actually be the one, and it might be back Machida once again, but I do like Guzman there. Let's have a quick look at the defenders. James Tavernier, highest projected score, home to Hibs, good matchup, 83. I've got him on the market at the moment, trying to make a bit of profit, but if he doesn't sell, he'll probably go into a priority Division 1, as much as it pains me to do so, but I've got to play the numbers, and he is projected to score more highly than the Celtic guys who play away from home. For example, there you've got, where is Alistair Johnston? Why can I not see him? Maybe he's quite far down the list, that might be why. Anyway, for example, Trusty's there at 66. Yeah, Johnson must be rated lower. Maybe he's just not showing up here for some reason, but I'll double check that after. Midfielders over here. What are we looking at? We have got Pallavicino and Paradea. So the two Necaxa midfielders are showing up best for me this week. Brunetta as well on a 64. Matthias Taferner, I just bought him today. I owned him before. He can score well on the platform, and I think I only paid about £7 for an in-season today. And he is playing in the bottom half of the Austrian league after their split. So he's got favourable matchups for the rest of the season. And I just thought he's got a good matchup this week. So again, probably not for Division 1, but he might make it into Division 2. Rakitic did well last week. Could use him again this week. Further down the list, Batarina. Again, I've got him on the market, so I'm kind of hoping that he sells before the weekend. And then forwards, we're looking at Lavadia. So it could be Lavadia, Rakitic double up for splits fixture. Yuki Soma showing up well here again this week after his goal. Anderson Lopez. Although I don't think Anderson Lopez has scored yet in the league. I think he's 6 league games without a goal. He's been scoring well in the Asian Champions League, but he is huffing and puffing in front of goal at the moment. I watched most of that. I watched the first half of Yokohama on Wednesday, and he didn't exactly, fill me with confidence. I think Jan Mateus looks better so far this season, and I think he probably does better for AA because he takes corners and stuff like that. So Jan Mateus, I probably favour over Anderson Lopez at the moment. Mateus Castro looked really good in that game as well, in the first half in particular. Wasn't sure if he would play that one, so I didn't put him into my contender lineups. He went into an all-star team, but he might make it into a contender this weekend. I've just bought Yamami as well. He's got 3 really good scores in a row. I think I paid £16 for him. He's another forward option. And before I start building the team, let's just have a quick look at classic cards only. This might help us decide. I mean, there's Salinger showing up on 71. Maybe, I don't usually do it, but maybe because my other goalkeepers are not projected to score that highly this week, I could use a classic goalkeeper. Something to consider. There's Affengruber as expected, showing up very highly, 93, because I've got that 76% win percentage, 64% clean sheet percentage. So Affengruber is a very powerful classic card for me this week, although I've only got 2% bonus. Carter Vickers is always up there. Mustafa Mbao, Paris FC have a good fixture. Midfielders, loads of classic midfielders. Jens Peter Højgaard, projected 83 with that good fixture for Bodo, 82% win percentage. Hector Herrera doesn't always start. Cabal, frustratingly, doesn't always start these days, so I'll probably swerve those two in the priority teams. So it's basically the 2 Bodo boys in midfield, Evian and Højgaard, are going to be in probably 2 of my in-season lineups as classics, possibly. I've got Shaqiri. We'll see how he does on Thursday. And Canales is further down than I expected him to be. He's been fantastic this season. Projected score is 62, but I'm going to guess he's probably a little bit higher on Sorare data. Nicholas Kuhn looked much better for Celtic last week, and Vanacek always an option as well. So, yeah, I forgot about forwards. Go to your Hine, surely number 1. There he is, 86. Paulinho not far behind with an 82. Memphis Depay with 74. So some pretty powerful classic. Pretty powerful classic cards there as well. So let's just put this back to all cards. And I'm just going to build 1 or 2 lineups because it's early days. It's only Wednesday. And a lot is going to change. So in-season goalkeeper, I think I'm going to go Gw68, and I'll see if his projections improve as we get closer to the weekend. So I think I'm going to be loyal to the... I think I'm going to have... I might even have 3 Division 1 in-seasons this week. I think I will. I already had 2, and I think the Division 2 team is going to get promoted from midweek. So 3 in-season Division 1s, which affords me the opportunity to run out maybe the same team again and see if they can do it in back-to-back game weeks. So we'll go Machida in this first team, and then we will build another. So where is Okamura, the hero of the last game week? We'll pick the midfielder last. We'll put in Yuki Soma. Is he near the top anyway? Hopefully he is. Not at the moment. But again, I expect these pick scores to update as the days pass by, especially with these guys who played midweek. And for example, Yuki Soma's down here not to play, possible injury. I don't think that was an injury. I think he was just exhausted and he went off. But I'll obviously keep a close eye on that before Friday as well, and hopefully get an update. I am a Patreon subscriber to Matsuyama. It makes sense for me to be a patron because I'm very much focused on J League at the moment, and it's a really good Patreon. You know, the email comes through every Thursday night or Monday night or whenever it is with all the team news. So hopefully there'll be information about Yuki Soma in that one. But I was on the Discord today and it seems like he should be okay. So we're going to put Shoji in here as well. Just keep it the same team. Now we could change the midfielder. We did have Lucas Fernandez last time out. So let's see Let's see who's the highest projected score. So it's probably going to be Pallavicino. I like, but I think I like the Bodo Glimt boys more this particular weekend. So Jens Peter Hoyga, what a great name. AAA on Sorare data. Maybe he goes in as captain this game week. So we'll go with that. Machida boys again. Hoyga captain. And we'll save that one. And we'll build one more in season. And then we'll build a classic. So let me get another Division 1 team on the screen. I'm going to change this to in-season cards only to make it a little bit easier to find players. Click apply, click X. And as always, I build from the back. I start with the goalkeeper. Ishimori is showing up number 1, Guzman number 2, Ota number 3. We remember earlier, Guzman has a pretty decent matchup. And I've got a decent collection score on him as well. So Guzman probably goes in. Tavernier will probably be the defender. Surprised he's not a double A or a triple A here. Maybe he will be before the weekend arrives. Midfielder, we are looking at probably Pallavicino. Although I do like Paradea more because he's on penalties and more set pieces these days. Could be Evian. Could be Shaqiri. And it definitely could be Canales. I really like Canales. Again, is Canales... It's actually Tavernier. That was the reason I bought him. Because he's a AAA and he only cost £7. I picked him up today. And he'll probably end up using him this weekend. Where is... Canales is not here because this is set to end season only. Let's change it back and see if he pops up near the top. I expect him to. Because I know Sorare Data usually likes Canales. Is he number 1? No, he's number 2, but that's good enough for me. So Wanacek's number 1, but that's a difficult fixture against Hanover. Canales plays Guadalajara. I always gravitate towards Canales in season Division 1 as the classic card, so we'll go with that. Forward has to be in season if we're going Canales. So Lavadia, and Yuki Soma we've already used. Anderson Lopez is decent. Jan Mateus I really like. I think I like Jan Mateus more than the Yokohama forwards. Yeah, I say Jan Mateus. Jan Mateus is a Yokohama forward. Mateus Castro I like more than the Yokohama forwards. He's been really, really impressive. Elsewhere, Jota. Quite a low projection for Jota. 51, which don't really agree with that because, again, go back to that Celtic win percentage. Surely Jota can do better than 51. But I respect the numbers after they got me a second place finish. Let's see how Jota shows up over here. Also quite far down the list. But again, that could change. So Jota at the moment is a B on Sorare data. Let's see where he ends up on Friday afternoon. In season forward, the best one here is actually Akito Suzuki because he plays Nagoya. But Nagoya were quite impressive, I thought, against Yokohama. 1-2-0. Lavaja shows up here, Mateus Castro. And I think I'm leaning towards Mateus Castro. Even though the fixture is maybe not fantastic. But yeah, he's a very likable player. Penalties, corners, free kicks. He does absolutely everything. And he's an absolute baller. And I'm a big fan. I'm a new fan, but I'm a big fan already. So we'll finish this out. In season, it's probably Pallavicino because he's got the 84 projected score. But it is a very close call in my mind between Pallavicino and his teammate Paradela. Let's see what Sorare likes more between those two. I'm going to guess Paradela because of the set piece factor. Who shows up first? There's Paradela on an A rating. And Pallavicino's currently on a C rating. And that's more inclined with how I feel about those two at the moment. So I'm going to go Paradela in this one. Where did he go? There he is. Paradela. And that's just replaced Canales. Let me just put Canales back in. There you have it. That is another good team. Maybe Mateus Castro doesn't make it and maybe I go for someone else when I look more at the fixture and it being away. But he's a good player. I think he can get points anywhere against anyone. Captain in this team probably comes down between James Tavernier or Canales. Pains me to do it. No, I'm not going to do it. It is very close between Tavernier and Canales, but I've got so much faith in Canales because of his consistency recently. So he gets the armband for now, but it could end up on Tavernier. Let's build one classic team for Contender Rare, and then I'm out of here. Again, it's going to be Division 1. Back to Sorare probabilities. We'll do this one very quickly. We'll go by the numbers this time on Sorare probabilities. Maybe Zach Hemming goes into this one. Although Salinger, much better collection score on him, which basically makes up for the difference in projection score. He's got a slightly better clean sheet percentage. They both play away from home. I did say I'll follow the numbers. So let's respect Sorare probabilities projections and let's go Hemming. I've clicked on Salinger there by mistake, so maybe that's a sign. Zach Hemming, but again, when it really comes to making my teams at the weekend, I probably don't mind Hemming in a classic lineup, but I don't think he's going to go into in-season. Just cannot trust it. Cannot trust him because of his recent scores. Defender, easy peasy, Affengruber. Keep clicking on the wrong tab. I'll just close it. Affengruber as the defender. Midfielder, Pallavicino will probably go into in-season, so I'll leave him out. Hector Herrera, don't know if he'll start. Cabal, don't know if he'll start. By process of elimination, Hakon Evjen is the next one on the list. I've got him at quite a high level. I've had him for ages, and it's obviously a very good fixture. Finish out the lineup. It's going to be Gautier Hein because is he top in both places? Yes, he is. Gautier Hein will probably get the armbands, although it could be Affengruber. And the final pick here is going to be, it could be Shaqiri. It could be, it's Paulinho, but Paulinho probably ends up in season. Yeah, I think Paulinho will go into my in-season lineups as a classic cards. Carter Vickers is here with very good collection bonus. But I'll probably keep the Celtic guys together in one classic team. I'll go Carter Vickers, Johnston, Engels, and a striker. I don't have a Dyson Maeda, so I'll use that as my differential spot and maybe my captaincy spot. But for now, probably Shaqiri. Where is Mr. Shaqiri? Could just type his name in, but he should be here somewhere. There he is. A-rated for the moment. And there is a very good classic setup. Go to your hind captain, I would imagine. And we save it. So, there you have it, folks. A very quick first look at lineups for this upcoming game week. Before I go, I'll just have a look at McBride's prediction on Predictorfy. As a Celtic fan, I always like to have a look at this, and I'll give you my 2 cents. Up front, I would expect the same front three as last week. Dives in through the middle. Absolutely incredible season he's having. If you have him, get him in your priority lineups. Jota on the left, Kuhn on the right. Kuhn was much better last week. The midfield three should be the same as well. Rio, Callum McGregor, Arnie Engels. Basically picks itself at the moment. Left back will probably be Schlupp again. Taylor's probably going to leave at the end of the season. Schlupp's probably going to sign for next season. But even though Tierney's coming back. Carter Vickers is safe. Alistair Johnston should be safe. Sinisalo will be in goal. The main position to avoid, probably the only position I would avoid, is left centre back. Same as McBride suggests here. Naroki's played the last 2 games and he's played well. Trusty has had a good season and was first choice for a long time and could well still be first choice. Scales is injured, but Naroki might just keep his place. So I would not pick Naroki in your lineups, and I would not pick Trusty either. Not worth the risk of killing a lineup. So that's it for my 2 cents on Celtic this week. Should be straightforward until the league is wrapped up. I think it's 3 more wins required, I think. And what's left? Is it 7 games left? So yeah, it won't be long until the likes of Luke McCowan and Aramida, these guys start appearing again when the league is wrapped up. So it'll enjoy your Celtic cards while you can, because rotation nightmare is around the corner. I'll leave it there, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully it's in some way helpful for you for this upcoming weekend. As always, keep an eye on my Sorare Contender Twitter account. I'll put a tweet out on Thursday, 24 hours before the deadline, for team news, and make sure you check back on that shortly before the deadline on Friday, just to catch any DNPs that might be in your lineups. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Please leave a comment. I'd love to see more comments on these videos. I read them all. I try and reply to them all, even if it's just to say you enjoy the video. Anything you'd like to see in the future from me, any questions you have about my gallery, anything like that. I'll do a watch list video soon as well. It's changed quite a bit recently, but yeah, I'm going to be spending my winnings this weekend. I'll probably blow it fairly quickly, knowing me. It's always dangerous having a Sorare balance, but 400 quid to spend on probably, doubling down on J-League now. Given, I've been watching all the highlights, I've got a good understanding of the teams, and it's been successful. The transition has been successful already. So happy days, and looking forward to doubling down on that, and probably adding a few K-League guys as well. And I'm keeping a close eye on, Argentina. Rosenberger back. I'd like to get a few in-season Rosenberg guys. Marius Broholm, for example. Andreas Pereira, but they're very expensive at the moment. So I'm just waiting a couple of weeks for that to calm down, and then I'll jump in probably more towards the end of this current European season for the other teams. So I'll leave it there, folks. Hope you enjoyed it, and again, talk to you next week with another video, or maybe even 2. Thanks for watching.